Hi, I'm Andrew, an entrepreneur and a computer science student,
Hi, I'm Raveen, a psychology major student.
and you're now listening to the Ink Thoughts podcast, where we ponder and talk about incongruous thoughts ranging from our daily life to the human mind.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Ink Thoughts podcast. Hope everyone have been doing well, and so today I'm going to talk about something that, I guess, in the recent few years, it has been more of more people are talking about it nowadays, and so it's about values, our life values. I guess the sudden raise and attention probably is going to have to do with COVID, especially when people have so much time to spend with themselves during that period of time. Yeah, and one of the things that I noticed that arises in discussion was about values, and so but I guess many people don't really understand or know about it. So, but still, I think it is an important thing that we should at least be aware of. Yeah. So today I'm here to discuss about it. And if you do have any ideas about this topic itself, feel free to comment down below and share your thoughts. Yeah. And so, what are actually values? Values are the core beliefs that one has to guide one's behavior and understanding of the world. Values guide us through our daily life. It shape how we interact with the world every day. Yeah. Your personal values determine who you are and who you want to be. Believe it or not, but our values have always affect and interfere with how we live and how we work, and hence it is really important that we pay attention to it and try to understand ourselves better. Yeah. So by understanding our life values, it helps us in making our life easier because now you know you will be making goals and decisions based on your values, your own values, not anyone else. Yeah. When you were doing something that are aligning with your values, you won't unconsciously felt there was some sort of conflict that doesn't seem quite right to you, but you couldn't really figure out what exactly it is. Yeah. It just seemed a bit off to you, but you can't really pinpoint what is it. What is it? Take a few seconds to reflect on your experiences. Do you ever have this kind of feelings before? I'm not sure about you guys, but yes, I do have. Yeah. Instead, if things are aligned, you feel happier and could even bring your happiness to the next level if things work out well. Yeah. Why, you might be thinking, right? Because every one of us mm, has a different understanding and interpretations towards this world. Yeah. It could be influenced by various reasons, such as our upbringing, our past experiences, education, cultural expectations, and more. And all of these factors are what construct our understanding and interpretations towards the world. That also explains why every one of us have different values. And when you have a better understanding on what really matters to you, and now and know how to prioritize them, it can then lead you to a better direction to live the life that you've always wanted to. For instance, there might be multiple choices in front of you that you need to make a decision on. You can only pick one. All of them sounds rationally good and reasonable. Now, how are you going to make your choice then? With a good understanding of your values, we truly understand what we want, and that understanding could lead us to making better choices in situations like this. So, I'm not saying like one of those um, choices isn't good, just that what fits you better. If you have a better understanding of your values, you know what would suit you better. Yeah. However, another thing that is worth thinking about is, what are your values? Many people might have misunderstanding about their own values if they don't let themselves reflect on it a little bit deeper and take some time to figure it out. Yeah, I totally agree that this thing doesn't come naturally to me either. I do need to take some time to really reflect on it and ask myself if something that I've always thought of, is it something that I really want? Yeah, or is there any other reasons that is making me feel so? So, this is because we live in a socially constructed environment. A lot of the time, people around us tell us what we should do, especially within the Asian background. We grew up having to listen to the elderly saying that we must listen and follow their advices or instructions for our own good. But under certain circumstances, you might not agree with it. Yeah, because that probably conflicted with your personal values, even if you never realizes it. But some of us then believe that we should follow that, even if we don't agree. But actually, everyone's values could be very different, as I mentioned earlier, and it is totally fine that we have different values from each other. There might be certain values that most of the people have, or certain values that certain society appreciate more, but that doesn't mean that you have to have the same if you don't want to. Yeah, that just doesn't align and make sense to you. You don't need to force yourself to be another person A or another person B in this world. You can be yourself, a special one, and only you. It is also important to note that although most of the time our values could be pretty much stable, but that doesn't mean that it wouldn't change throughout your life. You learn and grow as you age. So there might be different things that come into your life and interact and interfere with your value system, which causes changes in your values. That is totally fine and normal. Don't criticize yourself if that ever happens. Yeah. For instance, one of my close friends, she used to be someone that always had to make her plans work since secondary school. Yeah, things have to and usually will go accordingly to her plan. Yeah, she just have to be in control of all of that according to her plan. This used to work well during our high school times. However, as she went to the university, and especially the field that she was in, yeah, I remember she was working with some production team. Yeah, it requires a lot of adaptability and instant changes to plans whenever necessary. Yeah, like in production team, you never know what will happen, right? There's a lot of unexpected stuff that comes up, and that just won't go as your plan. And like her, probably she might plan going back at home at certain time, but production team they might take longer, and shooting certain footages and stuff. Yeah, so at the beginning I remember she was a bit frustrated and was so helpless about what to do because things just doesn't go her way, and she didn't know what to do at all. But slowly she started to learn the better balance between having good planning and adaptability, which now serves her better. That alignment and adjustment that she made had made her feel better and happier too. She still gets to make good plans, but at the same time, able to adapt to situations that are out of control. Therefore, if this ever happened to you, don't worry, don't panic. Just engage yourself in self-reflection from time to time to see if those you define as your values are still what you appreciate during that moment. If certain values no longer serve you, let it go. Embrace what works better for you now and making adjustment to your life accordingly. So now that we know a bit more about values, I'll continue to discuss about how to find our values and ways to live by our values in the next episode. If you've followed through until here, thank you very much for your attention and for listening. If you're interested in knowing more about values, stay tuned for the next episode. Yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. If you enjoyed, do share with your friends and family and leave us a review on the Apple Podcast. If you're not using an Apple device, you can leave a review on the Apple Podcast website with a link in the show notes. If you have any feedback or thoughts which you hope that we'll discuss in the future, feel free to email them to us at hello@incthoughts.com, or alternatively, you can send us a private message on our Facebook, Instagram or Twitter with the username of incthoughtspod. Thanks again, and see you all next week. Bye-bye.